Hello everybody, Mr. Fox here, and I'm back. I'm not back with fighting EX Layer, but I will definitely stream on that game later on today. I just wanted to play a game that I've been playing since beta, and that I stopped playing in 2015. And a week ago, or a bit more than a week ago, I just decided to have a look and see what it was like. So yeah, here it is. I'm playing Neverwinter, the MMORPG, the free-to-play MMORPG by Cryptics. And oh boy, a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have changed. I don't even know where to start, to be honest. So what I've done so far, just long story short, I came back to the game, had a look what was around, and it was a lot of new campaign because of a new model and stuff. So decided to have a look and to see if I could get my character up to date, basically. So I kind of managed to do that by spending a lot of Astral Diamond, which I had. If you don't know the game, Astral Diamond is one of the main currencies in the game. Unfortunately, the game has 1 billion currency just to make you, just to confuse you. But what the players are really looking for is the Astral Diamond, or the AD, because it's the currency where you're able to trade on the market, and you can sell your some of your gears, ancients, and a lot of other stuff, mounts, companion, etc., etc., and you can buy them from the market. So I have a love and hate relationship with this game because it has, in my opinion, one of the best fighting mechanism on an MMO, but in a way that it's more action based than turn-based type of things. I don't know if I make myself clear, but you'll see right away. It's like playing a third-person shooter, not first, but third-person game, like like any game. I don't have any game in mind, but I should. Let's say like you play PUBG or something like that, and it plays exactly like this. You just aim to where you want to attack, and that's it. You don't have to tab like in World of Warcraft or do where there is a kind of a stall game mechanism where you have to stop and do something. And in this game, everything is seamless, everything's flawless. I mean, most of the MMOs now tend to get that type of gameplay now, something more action based, really. So that's one of the reasons why I like this game, the fight mechanism, even though it's not really balanced. It's really fun to play. So when you're going do your daily, or you want to do a dungeon or play PvP, there's always that sense and feeling of fun. You're not like, oh gosh, it's going to take forever. No, in this game everything is fast-paced action, really, and that's one of the reasons why I like it. But it's not the only reason why I like it. Yeah, so it's a free-to-play. I'm trying to explain to you a little bit. If you don't know Neverwinter, obviously, if you know the game, then you can just cringe at what I'm saying, probably. But the last time I was playing was 2015. I remember that was when they released the Tiamat module, where it's a brand new area, and you have to fight Tiamat, the dragon queen, with 5 heads or something like that. So that was the big event at the time. You had all that campaign to do, and then there was that event that was popping up every hour or every half an hour, where you have to, where 25 players or more had to fight the dragon. It wasn't too difficult actually, once you knew what to do. But anyway, that's where I stopped playing the game. That's when they start introducing artifacts and artifacts weapon and artifacts gears. So, and that's where things went down very quickly, because when you are getting an artifact, your artifact is at level 0, or I don't know what type of level. So it's level 0 artifact, let's say. And you will think that by equipping the artifact and playing the game, you will, your artifact will gain XP, but it doesn't. What you have to do, or what you had to do, it was to refine the artifact. And to do that, you had to collect refinement stones, and they were unbelievably difficult to get without spending money, obviously. And I'm saying spending Astro Diamond or real money for the matter, or Zen, which is another currency that you actually buy with real money. So that's, for me, that's where it went to the pooper for me, because to get those stones, it was very difficult. You had a way to get more by equipping some Dragon's Ord enchantment stone, but that was only they were only those stones giving you a percentage of chance to get any refinement stones, which I still have actually in this character. But anyway, they changed a lot of things. Now you still have to refine your artifacts, but you can scrap some of the gear that you find in game and turn it into refinement points. With the amount of points, you can refine an artifact. So it makes it a little bit, and I'm saying a little bit, easier to refine something now. It's a quicker process. Mainly because they introduce much more artifacts and artifact gear and artifact weapons. So I'm guessing to let people refining as much as possible, they needed to change the system a little bit, or to make it a little bit more easier for people to do so. That's what they did. I think it's a good change, some respect. However, the game is even more grindy than ever. And it was tall order, because it was very grindy at the time. Well, there's plenty of new campaigns and stuff and dailies to be done, which I'm a bit confused, because, like I said, the last campaign I've done was the Tiamat one. They introduced a lot of other things. They changed dungeons, they changed skirmishes. They haven't changed PvP though. And if you know the game, PvP is technically the Wells Festival. It's basically very, very simple PvP. It's 5 player against 5 player, I think. Oh, I can't remember exactly. But I used to play PvP a lot, and I can't even remember. But I used to play PvP a lot, and it was fun because you were basically showcasing your gear. It was really, and it still is, pay to win PvP. But because the PvE at the time was, once you reach the end game, it gets very dull, and all you want to do is to upgrade your gear to max, basically, and it costs a lot of money, in-game money or real money, and a lot of time, because everything is kind of time gated. And the reason why you want to do campaign and the PvE is because you want to earn the boons, and the boons are stats, increased stats, and that's what you really want. Right, so yeah, the PvP is nightmarish now, especially since I had to upgrade my character a little bit, because they changed all the gear level and stuff like that, where at the time during Tiamat I was maybe gear level 14,000 to 15,000, and now I'm like 10,000 and a half, which is very low, which is not very low, but which is kind of low. And in PvP I just get murdered or one shot by classes that I thought were weak at the time, and now they are stronger than ever. Unfortunately, my main character is a trickster rogue, and oh boy, those guys have a really rough time through the modules released. Apparently, since this is module 15 for PC, they are in a bad spot. I don't know, being nerfed or something like that. So I'm not doing a lot of damages, unfortunately. And I have another character that I like to use, is my control wizard. This one. But as you can see, if you're familiar with the game, I kind of updated those characters with the primal gear. And the primal gear you can buy, can get. It's not really like buying, but you can exchange the seal of the brave that you earn by doing some events, skirmishes, and dungeon to the seller, and you can get that gear that kind of puts you back into the game, really, into the level you should be. So that's quite cool, I think. It was too much of a grind to have that, but I wasn't aware at first that I needed a gear, so I was kind of struggling to find proper gear. Obviously, there's a better set to get, but I don't know actually how to get. I think it's probably by doing some epic dungeon and stuff like that, and be very lucky to get a drop. So that's me. I've been playing for a week, trying to get back to it, up to date, really. But it's a big task, really. It's a big task, and I'm not sure if I'm going to pursue, but I would like to go as far as I can possibly tolerate. So yeah, I'm going to launch the game with my main because it's time for dailies and what's so. So let's do it. Right, it's the first time that I stream the game on Twitch, so I hope it's not going to be a big loss of frame rate. Should be fine, but we'll see. If it's too slow, I'll change some graphic settings probably. Right, so every time you invoke, you get your you know what? It's way too difficult to explain what's going on. Just bear with me, and I'll try as much as I can to explain a couple of things. So this is my guy. This is my gear. So as you can see, I have the primal set. Well, it's not really a set; it's just pieces of armor. So I'm having well, there's two important things in Neverwinter: is your armor ancient and your weapon ancient. So that's basically what people are are looking. Oh, okay. I think I trigger and then something. No. What people are looking. So my armor, ancient is perfect negation, which at the time was the top. I mean, when you had a perfect ancient, it was the top. So now you have more. You have after perfect, you have pure. Then you have transcendent, and then you can craft it to unparalleled. And wow, I mean, you need so much refining points to do this. It's just unbelievable. Or if you want to get an unparalleled item, ancient, so let's say the Fate Touch, apparently it's one of the most looked after. Go to legendary, refinement, if there's any Fate Touch. So here we go, we get unparalleled Fate Touch. And it costs 5 million zenny. 5 million and a half zenny. Not zenny, sorry, Astro Diamond, which is a lot. A lot of people are saying that you can earn roughly 700,000 Astro Diamond a week, but you need to have multiple character to do this. You can transfer your Astro Diamond towards account, sorry, towards, not account, but towards characters. So you could do that, but it's really time consuming, and my other characters are not, don't have a gear level high enough for me to go into epic dungeons, so they don't earn a lot of Astro Diamond. So I'm just focusing on my rogue at the moment and a little bit on my control wizard. I can, you know, do something about it to earn more, basically. So this is my armor enchant. It's a perfect negation, and I have a transcendent vorpal enchantment, which at the time the vorpal used to be the top of the top weapon enchant to have. It's still good. I managed to get a transcendent one because I had a bit of Astro Diamond to spend, and I wanted a up-to-date enchant. So here we go. Yeah, and you have other ancient enchantment stone that, like the Radiant, the Dark, the Azure, and there's a lot of other things. And the max level at the time used to be level 10. So if you had ancient level 7, 8, you were quite good. But now they go up to level 13 or 14, I believe. But anyway, that's my character. As you can see, I'm far from being good. I don't have good artifact as well. I mean, I need to, well, this one is good, this one is good, this one is good, this one, I'm not sure. My inventory is getting fuller and fuller, but I managed to get 2 bags from campaigns. But anyway, and I only have 84,000 Astro Diamond because I spent a lot of what I had to upgrade a couple of things. Right, I'm going to play. I think I have one thing to do there. We need to do it. I hope there's not a big loss of performance during the stream, because I'm always struggling to get a good FPS in bloody game. Oh no, it's not there. One thing I will say about Neverwinter, it is a mediocre MMO, but it's a good multiplayer game. So why I'm saying is a mediocre. There's an event there, probably. No, I'm not going to. Oh gosh, I hope I'm. So why I'm saying it's a bad MMO. Oh shit, I've been caught. Right, I need to do that. Okay. Yeah, what I'm saying, it's a bad MMO. To some extent, obviously. I mean, I'm not saying it's very bad. You can play this game totally solo, from scratch to level 60, 70. It's easy.
Reclaimed items
Which I
can be
don't
turned
mind,
into the shipmaster
because
for rewards.
sometimes, you know,
Turning in items fills the treasure ship progress bar. Filling it
Right.
triggers a heroic encounter.
right. Okay, whatever. Okay, yes, you can play this game from scratch to level 60, 70 and have no issue whatsoever. You can solo it. You can solo everything. Except from some dungeon, but dungeon are optional. You don't have to do them. I mean, I know people who play this game and they never done a proper dungeon.
We should have the
So that's good because it's a way of playing, which is interesting. Sorry, I'm just doing a couple of dailies that I forgot to do last time. So, yeah. I'm going to set up something on the microphone. So you can solo it, no problem, easy. And the problem is with this is the journey is not really the game. It's the end game, which is actually the game. And that's an issue because you obviously when you play at first and you don't know anything about the game, you don't really realize it, and you're thinking, oh, okay, that's cool. This is a good game. I'm doing well. But the real experience, unfortunately, is when you reach the end game. And then, unfortunately, it's also the least... I wouldn't say the least interesting, because the game from scratch to 70 is not very interesting, and it's an MMO. You're not really involved in the story. I mean, they want you to, to make you feel involved and all that, but you're just not. You're just not really involved. And you realize that once you reach the end game, because the only thing to do at the end game is to increase your gear level. So, sorry, I'm trying to multitask, and I'm not very good at it at the moment. So yeah, the end game is what you should aim for. I mean, that's what everybody is going to aim for anyway. But it's not the most interesting things ever. The only thing you are going to do is to increase your gear score by playing the markets and by by basically doing shit tons of meaningless dungeon and events, just for you to get more Astro Diamond or gear, and that's basically what you're going to do. I'm being tagged. No? What's that? Okay, good.
Reclaim magic can be used to release magical energy from ritual sites. This increases the time until the next ritual begins.
So yeah, end game, just improve your gear. I'm going to end that guy. This is an event. And it's another rogue as well, so he probably will need help. No? Was it an event? I thought it was. Never mind. Okay, so again and again, end game, just level your just increase your gear level, and by doing that, you need to do a lot of event dungeons and an end game campaign. The only reason you're going to do that is because you want the boons, and the boons increase your gear level.
I see.
There's a lot of quests there.
Remember,
I'm going to accept them.
the,
That's a lot.
to get you to penetrate
Okay,
Nestora's
that's a
portal,
lot.
we need to
I'm not going to
determine
do
the
them
source
because,
of
well,
power.
not all of them.
It pains me to say this, but I'm hardly an expert on Fey magic, entirely too chaotic for my tastes. However,
Right.
if you recover the essence of the creatures who serve Nostura,
Shut
I
up.
believe Archdruid Morningdawn can point us in the right direction.
Okay, right. So yes, the campaign. The only reason you really want to do it is you want the boons, or perhaps some of the gear. But I never find the gear in campaign to be very useful. They get outdated very easily and very quickly. So for me, it's not worth for the gear. It's more for the boon. So I'm going to show you campaign. This is all the campaign you have access to. And at the moment, I'm doing the Maze Engine campaign. You see, you have to follow. See, this is the boons. I already got this one. I need this, and then you go for this, and then this. So I'm doing this plus the Elemental Evil. I've completed it. I got all the boons, so I don't care about the rest. I mean, the rest is just gears like that, and they are not good for me because I already have better gear. Oh, hang on, there's a boon here. Alright, okay, but see, I didn't know. I will have to do the Fiery Pits. Let's see if... Yeah. See, the game kind of confuses you with a lot of that shit. You know, there's so many things to do, and obviously when you come back from... there's more done here. I will have to... I have to work on that eventually. Sharanda, I've done everything. I've done this. The camera, yes. Campaign, PvP. Yeah, I haven't done much on that. Underdark, yes, I'm working on the Underdark campaign as well, so the boons are all there. I have only 17% advancement, and I started doing this 5 days ago, 6 days ago perhaps. And it's time gated. It's going to take 18 hours to advance to probably get my second boon. Mental, but you can create a token which will... What does it do? I think maybe transfer. Yeah, I think with this token, yeah, you get 50% of the cost of most tasks in this campaign. And I think I think you can only use once. Not sure about that, but once per task, one per task. Per task. God, I'm getting confused. So much things to be done in this game. It's ridiculous. But that's what happened when you quit an MMO and then trying to come back to it. In a butt. Right, so this is all the campaign. Then this one, I'm not... you know, you need to go to some areas or talk to some NPCs in the game and to figure out what to do. It's just a pain. The jungle of cult, whatever, Schult, cult. Excuse me. So yeah, I am having I'm having a hard time actually to try to get back to the full knowledge of what's happening. And the only thing I have in mind is, okay, if you want to progress in the game, just get the boons. That's it. You will get better gear level. Well, now we call it the item level, in fact. Just there. Okay, so the most important things to do at this stage is the random event. You click on this, and I only have 2 available. I can't go to the advanced because my item level is not high enough, so only this is available. By doing this one, the first time you get 12,000 raw astral diamond. So the raw astral diamond is the astral diamond, but the raw, and you can refine them, and you can only refine 100,000 a day. So you can, after 100,000, you can still get raw astral diamond, but you will only be available to refine them the next day. Which is a pain. You can increase the number of 100,000 by there's an invocation that increases it, I think, and sometimes I've seen the number going to up to 150,000. I'm not sure, but anyway. So what we want is astral diamond. So the best way to get astral diamond in this game is to do random quest. Go to pop up. There we go. So I'm joining a random instance. And we're going to go to a dungeon or a skirmish. Right, it's kind of an event skirmish. I think it's a skirmish. We don't count it as a dungeon in this.
Not a moment too soon.
Right. Everything which is dialogue and crap, I don't care. And nobody does, because at this stage, when you are level 70 end game, you don't care. You just want to go forward. I mean, I appreciate the effort they're trying to do with the new one, the Art of Fire or something like that. Which is kind of funny, actually. It's kind of caricatural, funny, and it works. It kind of works. Right, so in this event, we need to shut down those portals. So I'm with 4 other players. And we need to close all those portals. Right, if I make another video on this game, I won't explain all this. This is just my first video on this game, and I just wanted you guys, if you're watching that for the first time, to understand what is the game. It's an MMO, but it's more like a theme park MMO, and that's why I have difficulty getting involved with the story, and the game is not really immersive, because you have if you know what a theme park MMO is you have a hub where you can select over area from this hub, which are kind of open space area. It's not like World of Warcraft where you go from one site to another without interruption. In this game you have to stop to go from one area to another. So I will show you the map. It's typically that type of MMO, and the problem is Neverwinter never ever rewards you for exploring its world, because there's nothing to see in the world of Neverwinter, unfortunately. When you start the game at first, you kind of want to, and you will think, yes, I'm going to explore that zone 100% to see if I can get treasure and all, but you don't get anything. You don't get any reward by exploring an area like you will in Guild War 2, for instance, or even World of Warcraft. You just won't get anything. The game is very cheap on that. And the worst is in dungeon. You get shit loot. The type of game where you're going to do a dungeon, you're going to do a very difficult dungeon. At the time, I remember Castle Never was incredibly difficult, and then Malabog Castle was difficult, and then Valindra Tower was difficult. You were thinking, wow, I'm going to get some good stuff out of the dungeon. Forget about it. This game doesn't give anything at all. I remember some of the weapon, the very high-end weapon in the game at the time, you needed to complete the dungeon to have the chance to get a loot. And the loot was shared with people. That means you had one chance out of 4 to get your weapon. If the weapon was dropping, obviously. So that meant that you had to do this dungeon several times. And it was just terrible. Also, one thing Neverwinter does too much, way too much, is the dungeons are not very interesting as such. They don't have interesting mechanism. Although in those cases like now, but that's more like a skirmish event. They're trying to introduce different type of gameplay where you have to walk separately and then walk as a team, and to do some very light type of action-based puzzle, but see like that, but that's very minimal. The dungeon are not interesting. All there is in dungeon is just mobs all over the place, non-stop. A swarm of mobs. And if you're not equipped for it, if you don't have the best gear, the best encounter or whatever, or the best strategy, or the best team, you're not going through a dungeon. You will lose right away. And it's a shame because the gameplay has so much more to offer than what the dev. The dev are just being lazy with dungeons and encounters and skirmishes and all. The team I'm with now, they don't close portal as fast as they should, really, because in those events we are getting awarded you get a medal if you're doing very well. you get gold, but if you're not doing good, you're stuck with bronze. And I probably think it affects the loot at the end. I would think. But again, I wouldn't be able to say because I'm really going back to the game just now. So do you see those chests there? If you pick one, you need a key to open them. And guess what? You need to pay for the key. So, because I don't want to spend any money, because I spend some money in this game, because at first, you know, you're feeling it. It's like, yeah, I'm going to, you know, to get some cosmetic stuff or maybe something to boost my progress a little bit, and to encourage the developer to do a good job. No, don't do that. Do it if you can, if you absolutely can. If you have a lot of spare change, let's say. But apart from that, just don't. Because there is a culture in this game of loot boxes and random RNG, but to such an extreme that it's ridiculous. And in all fairness with the game, you can play without spending any money at all. Just can play the game and just go through it without spending anything. In fact, when I played the game the first time, when it was in beta, no need to spend anything up to level 60 at the time. Because first of all, the game was easy enough. The leveling, by the way, up to level 60 is very easy. Very, very easy. It's actually too easy, and that's, you can do it in just a couple of days, really. It doesn't take long. Once you reach level 60, 70, then it starts, you start your end game, basically. That's where you're going to grind and grind for Astral Diamond. We got silver on our face. Right, now we need to kill that fucker. A piece of cake, hopefully. So the game plays a lot also on how your rotation is. It's very important to have a good rotation. Rotation for PvE and rotation for PvP. So this is what I got from not much. I'm 4th on the damage, the most damage dealt, which is basically where I stand at the moment. I cannot have more than that. And that's what I got. You get some Seal of the Brave that you can exchange for gear, and this will be important for the campaign. This as well, and this is shitty ring that I'm going to scrap. That's it. And there's a chest you can open, but guess what? You need the key, and to get the key, well, you don't need to pay. But you need to unlock it through a campaign. Which one is it? I can't remember. This one? No. No, I don't care. Actually, I'm not going to open it because it's going to be shit anyway. Right. So that was my first 12k Astro Diamond of the day. And bear in mind that you can farm up to 100,000 Astro Diamond, which will be your limit to refine them. So just to show you, if you're not familiar, right? I got 13,000 Astro Diamond raw Astro Diamond. So I'm going to refine them. Okay, go to my Astro Diamond stash, and there it tells you that today I've refined 13,300 Astro Diamond, and I still have 86,700 to refine. Good, but the problem is, if you want to refine 100,000, you will have to grind like a bitch. Basically, the game is telling you, okay, you my bitch, you're going to grind the Astro Diamond because you know what? You need that Astro Diamond to upgrade your stupid gear. And you know what? The game is right. Okay, once I've done that, if I try to do the same, I will only get 2,000 Astro Diamond. And which is the best you can get. But the thing is, if you do well during those events, during those dungeon event, whatever, you can have an increase of Astro Diamond. For instance, the loot at the end will give you maybe 4,000 Astro Diamond, or maybe 500 more, depending on how it goes. But it's very interesting. Right, I'm going to do the leveling queue because this one gives me 8,000. The first time you play, obviously. Problem with the leveling queue is you're playing with low-level players. It's fine. So you kind of rush the dungeon, really. Well, this is not a dungeon, it's a skirmish, so we should be good. If you have a lot of players like me, which are levels of... Okay, they've been dying because we've been spawning here. That must be a low-level group, but it's okay because I can lead them, even though I'm not the best damage dealer. Oh, it seems that we're doing fine. I don't understand now. Basically, I joined a skirmish which was already on its way. But it seems to be fine. Let's see this guy. Okay, that's low level like me, basically. This guy. Okay, they have reasonable gear level, item level. This one is very good actually. I don't understand why they had trouble. Unless the spawn just spawned me there for no reason, I don't know. But they're doing well, look, no need of anybody. They don't even need me. I'm actually probably the lowest dealing. I will be, actually. Okay. Ah, come on. Ah! Let's see. Oh, come on. Give me the stats! I want to see. Pen giver, well, I'm the last on the pen giver table, which is what I was expecting anyway. I mean, look, they're just team rolling everything. And they are just low to average item level people. As you can see, as a trickster rogue, I can disappear for a couple of seconds and sneak behind my targets for massive damage. Oh, that used to be the case before. Right, now I can open that thing because we don't need a key for this. And this gives me 1,500 raw astral diamond on top of the 8,000 I'm going to get. So this is good. And you can open this one, but again, you need a campaign key. Right, I'm really trying to trying to explain how the game works, but obviously it works like any other MMO. And bear in mind that this one is a free-to-play, so there is a lot of grind to be done to reach an acceptable level. So this is, you know, when you start playing a free-to-play, they always hook you up the first couple of hours, like, yes, that's a very good game, don't have to spend any money, I can go on and on and on. And that's what Neverwinter did very well. In fact, all the leveling experience in game up to level 60 is you don't need to spend anything. And in fact, I wouldn't recommend anybody to spend anything at all during the leveling part of the game, because if you buy gear at, let's say, level 50, it will be useless once you reach level 55. So never spend any money during the leveling of this game, because you will need all the astral diamond that you can find at the end game, because you will need the better gear, the BIS, I guess, but obviously you need to work harder to get this. But to get decent end game gear, you need to keep your astral diamond as much as you can. I'm going to show you the currency a little bit. I'm going to refine this first. So this is the currency. So this is the seals. So you earn seals by doing dungeons, or some campaign gives you some seals, and you can trade those seals for gears. Those one are old seals that are not available anymore, I think, but you can trade them for the brand new one, which are the seals of the adventurer. Then you get the campaign currency. So look at all that shit. Look at this. This is ridiculous. And you need those currency to advance into the campaign, or to get some gear, or to buy some keys or chests. You also have PvP currency, because you can obviously, with the Seal of Triumph, you can buy PvP gear, but you also need not only the Seal of Triumph, you need also this one. What's it called already? But I forgot. Oh, the Glory. There you go. So here you go. Yeah, you got the Zen. I don't have any, because Zen you need to pay for it. So what people do, and if you're not familiar with the game, you buy Zen. So you get two choice. Either you go and spend it. Sorry, it's not this. You go and spend it into the Zen market, and here you got stuff. You get the VIP pass as well. That gives you. I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. It gives you a bit more of this and a bit more of that each day. You get the slight edge over other people. You can buy keys for your boxes. This is actually keys for in-game chests, which is even worse. Yeah, lockbox key. That's the boxes that you find in game. They're quite expensive. You got only 10 and it costs 1,125 Zen, which is, I don't know actually how much. I don't know the market for this at the moment. And by refinement, the coalescent world, this is such a hard thing to get in game. Obviously they'll sell it for real money, and you need this stupid stone to eventually refine an artifact or an ancient which has 1% chance of succeeding. And with this, it's guaranteed to succeed. So guess what? You don't want to lose your enchant or your what do you call it? For instance, if I want to upgrade the artifact, right? If I had the reagent, which I don't, well, I'm missing 5 of them. If you put that coalescent word, that 10% chance will be transformed to 100%. So you mean, you know, it will be a guarantee. But you do that, you tend to use them when there's only 1% chance, because they are so valuable that you're not going to waste them for anything else. For that type of things, which is 50 to 30%, even 50%, is quite difficult to get a successful upgrade. You will use the other type of stone, the preservation ward. They are easier to get in game. So I've got gears there that I'm going to convert into points. So I have 47,000 refinement point, and with these points you are able to, let's say this is an artifact there, I can refine and I can add to it, but I don't have enough for the next level, which will be legendary level. I don't have any gear legendary because when I stopped playing the game, they kind of introduce it, the legendary artifact, and I didn't put my head into it because it's such a waste of time. So anyway, you get the Zen, so you buy Zen, you spend your Zen into the Zen market for various items. Buy bags. Bags is actually a good thing to get, really. Companion, if you really want. Mount, definitely. You need a good mount. But you don't have to go through the Zen market. So what people do, they buy Zen, and then they exchange the Zen for Astro Diamond. And there's an exchange for that. So you put like, if you want to sell Zen, let's say you have, let's say you have 1,000 Zen, and you want to buy it at the lower price, obviously, like 496, and you will get a certain amount of Astro Diamond out of that. It doesn't show now because I don't have enough. Let's say if I want to try to buy Zen, what's the unique price? I don't know. Yeah, if you know, if I put 200, hang on. Right, let's say I want to buy Zen for 100 Astro Diamond each. Then you post it, and then someone needs to buy your Astro Diamond. That's not going to happen at this price, obviously, because it's way too low. So yeah, there's an exchange, Zen to Astro Diamond and Astro Diamond to Zen, but obviously it depends on how the market, in-game market, is fluctuating. Sometimes it's good to do it, sometimes not, and you have to wait that the market stabilizes itself or you get a lower price for what you want. So you need to play with that as well, and a lot of people are playing with that. I'm not the best at it. I used to do it back in the day, but you know what? It's kind of a mind game, really, which kind of distracts you from the main game. But once you get your gear after, you know, you got it. You need a lot of Astro Diamond. This is the main currency. Even to the point where money, the gold, are not is not the currency, an important currency. However, with the new modes they introduce, they are trying to get you to spend more money than before. So they're creating money sinker. Like I remember during Tiamat campaign, there was huge Astro Diamond monies, Astro Diamond sinker, and a lot of people were not happy with it. I wasn't. I mean, God, even to advance in some campaign, you needed to spend Astro Diamond. Which I think was ridiculous. They should give you Astro Diamond. You should not spend Astro Diamond for campaign. Definitely not. And that's what we're trying to do as well now, by having those stupid tokens. You know, to create one, it will cost me 50,000 Astro Diamond. Which, if you have millions of Astro Diamond, it's fine. Just do it. Because I spend a lot of Astro Diamond to get back to up to date with the game and my gear, I can't do it. If I do it, I spend half of what I have at the moment. So this is not going to happen. Right. So we've done 2 events. So now, if I'm trying to do the leveling cube, I only get 1,000. And if I try to do the another random one, I only get 2,000. But if you do that if you do that often, or if you spend like 2 hours just doing this, you can get a fair bit amount of Astro Diamond, depending on which event you fall into and how quick your team will be able to clear it. Yeah. I mentioned the PvP. It's the Wells Festival, and it's basically it's a mode that I used to play a lot because I was bored of the campaign or waiting for the campaign to unlock, and PvP was the best way for me to get entertained. However, you get easily sucked into the wormhole of I'm getting smashed by people with far better gear than me, and I want that gear. And what you do, you start spending money, and you want to upgrade your gear as much as you can, extra, and it can cost you a lot of real money. Yeah, it's at the same time it's discouraging playing PvP because whatever you do, you will always obviously find someone with better gear. Either they manage to get the gear by playing the game, which will take such a long amount of time just to refine and upgrade ancient and all the shit, or they have a very good credit card. You know, you don't really know. And some people I've seen, they have top gear upgraded. They have everything is unprecedented ancient. They have rank 14 ancient, and what else? Oh, and their artifacts are all mystic, I think. Knight's mystic, yeah. So, and I get one shot easily in PvP now, where before I used to be competitive, I would say, and now it's just impossible. In fact, let's try to queue for some PvP. The problem is and I've noticed you can wait for PvP to come up for like 10-15 minutes and nothing will show up. The PvP queue system is let's say it's broken. It's perhaps broken. It's been like that for a while, and they haven't changed much. You wait so much, so long for a match to come up. It's ridiculous. Yeah, yes, and I'd like to apologize to well, yesterday I played the game a little bit, and during an event, someone invited me in their guild, and I accepted it, but I did it by mistake. I just pressed the button and I just accepted the request. It was in the middle of a fight, and I was like, oh, okay. I was in a guild before. Actually, I created a guild with a friend of mine. But when I came back into the game a week ago, no guilds, nothing. So I don't know what happened. If someone in the guild took power, and because I was the leader of the guild. I don't know what happened. Maybe someone decided to kick everybody, or maybe the game just picked some inactive guild, and perhaps there was not enough people in the guild. I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm in a guild at the moment by mistake, but I think I'm going to stay in the guild just out of respect, I guess, and see how they like. I'm not really interested in the guild system. The game doesn't really encourage guilds, or guild roleplay. In fact, it's much better now than it used to be before, because they introduced the stronghold and all that, but it's not something I'm entirely interested. Like the profession, they changed completely the profession, so this is the professions now. It's such a clusterfuck of things to do and things to gather, and the Astral Diamond Sinker that I just don't want to touch it, really. All that to create shitty stuff and trying to sell them in the Astral Diamond market for nothing. So I'm not going to bother with them. I just don't want to. It could have been interesting, much more interesting than what it was before, but I see it as a money sinker, an in-game money sinker, and Astral Diamond Sinker. That's all I can see it as. You will have to craft a lot of stuff and get good crafting reagent and very good crafting NPC to get something good out of it, and that means spending a shitload amount of Astral Diamond, and I'm not going to fall for it, really. I just don't want to, because you don't get anything valuable out of it. I mean, you can get something valuable, but it will cost you a lot. And perhaps you can sell it for a good price on the Astral Diamond market, but it will take so long and so much effort that I just don't want to do it. And I'm sure some people are going to focus on that because, you know, if they completed everything, it's a good time to spend, I guess, but personally, no. So I'm sorry, a lot of talking for this stream, lot of talking, because it's a game that, like I said, I have a love and hate relationship with it, because I like it a lot, but I also don't like it. It's just like a roller coaster of emotion, really. I mean, with such a good system, such a good fighting system, how can they fuck it up with the pay to win, the free to play element of it? It's a lot. It's the case for a lot of games. They have such a nice frame, a nice base to it, and they just fuck it up because they are greedy. And obviously, I can see that they made some effort. Because there's a lot of things which are very good now that you can do. For instance, you can lock item and protect items. Excuse me, blimey. So, for instance, I have the ancient, which is a perfect bile thorn, which basically poison your opponent, and you get damage over time for that. Which used to be a good ancient a couple of years ago now, but I tried it now and I don't know. It's I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but probably because I don't have enough power to really make good use of it. So I'll still keep it on the side to see what I can do with it in the long run. I need to improve my item level and get stronger, really. But yeah, good base. There's a good base, but stop being greedy, please. And yes, they did a lot of effort. Like I said, yeah, I wanted to show you. Sorry. This item I cannot sell, I cannot discard. You have to remove the protection to do that. And that's good. Because in the middle of battle, sometimes you can open windows and you can, by mistake, drag something and then press the wrong button and you lose a valuable ancient or item, and that's not good. For that, it's good. It's something that should have been done ages ago, but it's not now. It's not a thing. One other thing as well, which I don't like, is every time, for instance, on this elm, every time I want to, if I want to remove the stone, I can remove it, but at a fee. And it costs you 2 gold 50 for this one. So the higher the rank of the item, I think, the more you pay for it. At first you think, oh, okay, that's fine. But you will do that a lot in the game because you want to experiment stones and ancient. And you're going to do that a lot. And it's going to cost you a lot of money at the end. So that's greedy. That's very greedy for nothing. And also like changing your appearance. It used to cost, just to change a piece of clothing, 50,000 astral diamond, I think is the cost. It was huge amount of the diamond they were asking for. If I can change appearance, right, I can change this to something else that I have, like, I don't know, this one or this one. Okay, let's go for this one. So something that I like that I will change eventually. Now it only costs 5,000. That is good. That is very good. From 50,000 to 5,000. This is good. So this is a good thing that they've done. They reduced the price of this because people want to change the appearance of a character, not to an incredibly tagged price of grinding. So this is good. A lot of good things and a lot of things that are still not good enough. But this is the ideology of free to play, really. I wouldn't mind if it was only cosmetic. Everything that you buy, everything that you spend your hard cash, and I'm talking about real money, is for Oh shit. It's for cosmetic. But instead, it's used for cosmetic. You can buy cosmetic stuff, but mainly to buy you an advantage over somebody else. So as you can see, this is the map of the region I'm in, and that's it. It's very, you know, not much to it. It's just it's very short, and then if I go there, I go back to the map, the main map, to the hub. You see all the different regions, and it's like a theme park. You know, it's like Disneyland. You go in, and then you select the area where you want to go. That's why they call them theme park. I don't know. I have to collect those. I need to collect 3 essence. Don't know where they are. Unless I need to kill some mobs to get them. That's what I'm trying to. Nope. That's where I was before. Let's read the journal. Where is it? You carry the essence of the creature who served Nostura, I believe. Okay. Okay. So yeah, it's basically kill the mobs and get the drop. Okay, yes. There's one in 10. Personally, I find the area a bit, not a bit difficult, because as you can see I can manage. But if I'm not careful, I can die. It's not a bad thing. Yeah, I mean, there's some challenge, and I like that. But it's kind of a steep difficulty compared to the previous zone I used to do on previous mode, where I was just, you know, cruising really. There's a ritual starting in 2 minutes. I think we can wait. So you got some zone there. You got one there. There's an event here. It ends. It's going to end now, and there's one going to start where I am now. I will have to do that event. I think the Girion counterattack. But there will be an event in 1 minute, 1 minute 50 years. Okay. So yes, you just do those campaigns because you want that, the boons. Because they increase your stats. And if they increase your stats, they increase your item levels. Very important. Going to refine this weapon, which I can, but I don't have enough refinement point. That's going to take. I mean, I got 47,000 refinement points, but this is taking so much refinement point. Anyway, we're going to do that event now. That's where I'm going to get my Fey essences. And hopefully more refinement stones. But you can see a lot of number popping on screen. This is because I set up the stats of the game to show up the crits as well as the damage I'm doing. This is because I wanted to know how much crit I was generating. It's important when you're building up your character. Did I finish? No. I don't get it. What's happening? What is this? That? I thought it was... Is it bugged? I really don't get it. Okay, oh, that's a shame because I've only 3 essences to get. That was a good range. I think it was that bugged. Right. I need to find mobs now. The area will be better. Right, okay. So as a rogue, or like they say in the game, as a TR, trickster rogue, you deal mainly 1-to-1 damage. You don't have a lot of AOE power. Oh, okay, so wait a minute. No. Big follow. You don't deal a lot of AOE damage. I have that smoke bomb, which is very effective, which kind of stunned the enemy, so they cannot do anything. They cannot use an encounter for a second. They can move slightly, but they cannot do much. Right, okay, I got what I wanted. Do one more. Now there's other encounter, AOE encounter with the rogue, but in my opinion they're not very effective. I think the most effective is the smoke bomb. I have to avoid this thing. Oh, ah! Stuck! I want to... Oh, shit. So, when you're a rogue, you go invisible. And because I build a character that can go invisible for a long time, so you can avoid some type of situation like this one. But I don't want to fight them. But the game looks nice. The game still looks good. It has a very... I mean, the frame rate is not the best. There's a lot of issue with the frame rates in this game. And the server are just terrible. In some dungeon, you just... the frame rate drops because there's so much stuff happening on screen, obviously, but there's a huge latency as well that they haven't fixed much since last time I played back in 2015. So don't know where they're spending their money. Am I in the zone? Where am I? I am. So defeat the 7. They must be. Well, let's fight them and see. Oh, it takes me forever to kill one guy. I really need better gear, or at least to refine. Is there a mimic? It's just it's visibly trapped. I got a treasure map, and I don't know how to use it. Unless it's not the one. Yeah, so it just showed this, like... never mind. There's one thing in this game is when you do a dungeon or you're exploring some of the map like that, it's almost useless unless it's part of the quest, obviously, where you get quest item, so that's different. But it's almost useless to open a small chest like that because you get shit all. You get... I'm going to try to fight them. This is going to be challenging. See, my only AoE damage is smoke bomb. I can use a daily that makes more damage, AoE damage, but it's kind of poor, in my opinion. So I like the companion I have. I'm not sure if it is optimal for my build, but for my class. But he heals and attack by throwing potions, which I quite like. And I think he's good. He's actually quite good. Oh shit, I missed that. I've been reading some guides because one thing with this game is, and you want to do it when you reach the end game, is to read guides on the internet about builds. The reason is you want to do that because when you level up, you're picking powers like that. That's what you're going to put on your tray here. So everything points that you spend for each level you get, you're going to spend points, and sometimes you don't know, and you're like, okay, should I get Death Strike? Should I get Lashing Blade? Because you don't know. When you level up, you have no idea. And then you reach the end game and you're thinking, oh shit, I should have spent more on this ability instead of the other one. But if you want to do it, you need to wait level 60, where you get a free token that allows you to retrain your character. You can spend the points. You reset all the points that you've been spending and reset it to normal. You can spend them the way you actually prefer. So you get that at level 60, I think. I still think. But the problem is, if you want a good build, better check guide on the internet, because if you make a mistake again, you will have to pay for a retraining token, and you will have to buy it with Zen or exchanging Astro Diamond to Zen, and it's a bit of a pain, really. So don't be afraid to check guides on the internet on how to build a good build, a good character, you know, for what you want. Like if you want PvE or if you want a character good for PvP. Because the game is a free-to-play, and obviously they're going to charge you for anything they can. So don't be afraid to check how to build a correct character. With the right specs, the right gear, the right power to put on, the right what's it called? The right features, sorry. This is very important. It will avoid you to spend real money to retrain your character. From time to time the game offers a new free retrain token. I'm going to use that thing. An artifact that just damage people around this. It's not bad. It's obviously something I use as an AoE damage dealer. But if you are a control wizard, or if you have a class which deal a lot of AoE, you don't need this at all. Right, so I need to go to the other little area, I guess. I don't want to grow. Oh shit, I'm going to the wrong way. You see, in this game you just have to follow the sparkly thing on the floor. You can disable it, but you see, like I said, the game doesn't reward you for exploring. You're not being rewarded to explore anything. And it's not interesting to explore because there's nothing to see. So all you do is just following that trail of sparkling trail, and you go from one point to another. Like I said, it doesn't do a good job as being an MMO, but it does a good job as being a multiplayer game where you play with other people in some in some instances. That's it. That's how I see it. If you want a good MMO experience, just play World of Warcraft or Guild War 2. That will be much more rewarding than Neverwinter. Neverwinter is just a free multiplayer game. The MMO aspect of it is, I wouldn't say it's limited, but it's not well put together. I mean, for instance, back a couple of years ago, creating a guild had no advantages at all. We just decided, oh yeah, well, we're going to make players to be able to create guilds. Great. You have access to a new zone, but that's it. That's all you have. It's just access to a new zone because of the guild. Nothing whatsoever. Now, well, we're trying to change that. You know, you need to build up things. The problem is that means more grinding and more, probably money spending, or astral diamond spending into the game because you want the guilds to prosper. But yes, you can play this game absolutely without spending a dime. That's what we recommend you to do. But if you want to be competitive, if you want to be the best, which you don't need to in PvE, really. It's only PvP, which PvP is the how can I say it, it's I meant to say something. It's like a scene almost. You really want to see what it is. You go in and then start playing. You enjoy yourself and you say, "Damn, I want best gear now because I want to beat that guy." And also, let's be fair, it helps a lot to have very good gear on PvE because you can just steamroll, the dungeons, and you don't waste any times basically to do those dungeons, so you can farm them quickly. That's what you want to do because there's way too much time wasted in this game, just waiting to do things. Where am I supposed to go? Up there? Yeah. If you can do something quicker, just do it. Ah. Oh. Lag? I don't know, but that was very slow. Yeah, the server just terrible. And there's a lot of bugs throughout the game. Many times I was stuck into the part of the map where you can't move anymore. You just stuck yourself. You jumped and you're stuck between two rocks, or you're stuck in a tree. That can happen. The beta was just cribbled with bugs, which is fair enough. Beta, but the release product wasn't much better. Oops. And don't expect interesting quests to do. It will be the typical MMO FedEx quest, you know, go and get this, go, come back when you kill 10 rabbits, come back, this and that. It's just, you know, it's not interesting. What is interesting is the synergy between the classes in dungeons. This is very well made. This is very well implemented. Although there are classes which are, I wouldn't say better, but more required in a dungeon than others. For instance, a rogue is not needed in a dungeon, let's be honest. It could be needed for some specific task in dungeon, like sneaking behind the boss and trying to deal damage while the guardian fighter is growing him, you know, getting his attention so you can sneak behind and just do it. But if you have powerful other classes, they can DPS the boss easily without needing to sneak. I hope the stream is not too slow. I'm having a little bit of performance issues, but I'm wondering if it's actually not the server which are slow. Could be. So I like playing the rogue in this game because it has very interesting mechanics. Yeah, it's a very fun gameplay as well. All the class, I would say, are fun to play, which is unbelievable. Even the clerics is very fun to play. So for that, that's what one of the things I like in the game is all the classes are good to play, are very fun to play. They have very interesting mechanics, and really can really build up the way you want. Even though every classes at the end, every build from a class at the end will look like just another one, but you have the feeling of power all the time in the game, which is great, really. The impact of your strikes are very well. You get a good feeling, you know. You strike an opponent, an enemy, a boss. You really feel it. You really feel you did something.
The river district is not yet. Yes, yes. Very.
Another quest.
Now that I understand how Cabal's mind works, I need something personal to him.
Right, I think I'm going to stop streaming now. I just wanted to tell you my little story with this game, even though it wasn't really a story, but more like why I like it and why I don't.
One of the few times he left the tower was for a
let's check that guy. He has an interesting. This is the guy which has mystic artifacts, as you can see there. Bing, they're all mystic. Legendary items. This one, even the ring there, and this. And he has a perfect negation like mine. And he has a perfect Holy Avenger engine. Okay, he's kind of okay. It's not the top, obviously. I've seen some item level at 17 plus K with unparalleled ancient and all this, the crap. So yes, he has a power of 43,000, but bear in mind he's a paladin, so paladin they have more strength, and I only have like a puny, not even 20,000. But there's a lot of things that decide of this, like what you put in your companion as well, because you have to gear your companion. Now you can gear your mount. I'm not doing a very good job at the moment on this because it's not my main focus yet. I'm trying to build up on getting my gear better, getting maybe better gear as well, and refining my artifacts because because we're not at a very good level. I want at least to be at legendary level, but my god, it takes some time. Yeah, look at that. And then I need the reagent, the greater mark of potency, which are, oh my god, very expensive. I'm going to check the price actually of the greater mark of potency. And they are, well, okay. Right. So if you want 20 of them, you need to spend, well, the market is offering 385,000. Bear in mind, I only have 100,000 Astro Diamond, which I can get that type of Astro Diamond in maybe 2 to 3 days. But still, it's a long time. If I only want one, nobody's selling one only. Jesus. So these are players selling this stuff. Okay, if I, let's say 5, yeah, at least 100,000, a bit less than 100,000 Astro Diamond. That's what I would need to spend, plus more of those shards, the wards, sorry, where are they? Yeah, the preservation wards, those ones. And just to upgrade it to legendary, I might use all of them because this 10% chance will fail a lot. But you see, it's a waiting game. It's really it's just typical MMO, but in a way free-to-play MMOR. Anyway, I hope you enjoy watching me rambling about this game because don't get me wrong, I like it. I like it a lot, but at the same time, all the free-to-play aspect of it, I just wish it would be a little bit easier on the grind and on the greediness of the publisher. Perfect World, I think. I really hope that they ease up on greediness. Like, hey, you want something, you need to pay. Fine, I'm okay to pay for cosmetic stuff and perhaps a couple of things there and there, but for essential stone or world that you need to upgrade your stuff, because we are grinding for at the end making our gear better, so we want to refine our artifact to the best level possible. But for that, you need a world that it will take forever to get in the game because you need to be lucky to get a drop in wherever, or you need to spend some real money. But obviously, if you gather enough Astral Diamond, then you can change it to Zen and then buy the world that you need. But it's why do I need to do that? Why do I need to play with the millions of currency, try to get my stuff? It's a way of seeing it, I guess. Way of doing business. Because it feels like you're doing more business than you're actually playing the game. Because all the quests, they are nonsensical, really. Yes, you need to defend those guys, you need to protect the area. No, all is for you to gather resources in order, excuse me, to complete your campaign, get your boons, and eventually get enough astral diamonds so you can afford something. Anyway, so I said, I might. I'm going to play this game. I'm going to continue playing a little bit more. I want to see how far I can tolerate it. Like I said before. I'm not sure if I will stream it again. I might actually. I might stream it while I'm doing my dailies or trying to do some PvP, which we're still waiting for PvP to pop up, and it's been like I don't know, 20 minutes. I might stream it again, depending on my mood, because it's a game that can infuriate me a lot at times. So yeah, I mean, if you enjoyed it, I might stream it again. On that note, I will be streaming Fighter EX Layer later this evening after 6 o'clock. If you check the channel after 6 o'clock British time, just check and see if I'm around. Yeah, fighting EX Layer. I'm getting my ass kicked by the arcade mode of this game. It's unbelievable, but I like it. It's an interesting game with interesting game mechanic. I know I've been saying that a lot, and I shouldn't, but yeah, mechanism and games and how the way you play. It's very different from the modern games like Street Fighter 5 or even the Arc System games like Dragon Balls, Blaze Blue, and Guilty Gear. It's different. It's a bit more old school, but it's very strict kind of gameplay. If you make a mistake, you're like, oh gosh, don't make a mistake. Anyway, I'll show you that later tonight. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you later. Bye.